Hey folks, this is Waylon Lewis on the day after Donald J. Trump has been elected President of the United States of America, which is a seemingly surreal sentence to say and have it be reality. Not a reality show, but actual reality. So I'm going to read something I read last night, or I wrote last night, as soon as it became clear that Hillary was being upset and that we would not have our first female president and that we would not have a president sort of in the ordinary line of presidents, whether Republican or Democratic, a competent president who kind of knew what they were doing. We were going to have an outsider his campaign is made up of family and kind of alt-right folks like from Breitbart News. And I have to say last night I basically had dreams about like a chicken coop. And we've left the fox in it. And the fox is not particularly Trump. It's all the people around him. And I fear that America will be gutted over the next few years. And I've already seen some sort of positivity folks saying, oh, it's negative to say that. It's negative to be down right now. Just keep loving your heart and everything will be okay. But, that's not how it works. Love isn't something you kind of make up. Love is something you work for and create. And when it comes to healthcare for 20 million Americans and climate change, not only not fighting climate change, but not acknowledging it to be true and not, and then going in the opposite direction, we're going to see a lot of devastation over the next 4 years, and no one will be happier than me to be wrong about that. But there's a positive edge to this story. In every tragedy we've ever had, whether World War II or 9/11, there's a positive silver lining to this story. So that's what I wrote about last night. And if people want to hear it, I will read it. And we'll also leave it in the comments. I can only imagine, I'm a white male, and I can only imagine what it feels like this morning. To be a young woman and have someone like Trump be your president, and I don't say this from a partisan point of view, I really don't, because I have respect for moderate Republicans. My father has been one, and I think something people aren't writing about today, I haven't seen it at least, is that last night on some level marked the death of the moderate Republican Party, the traditional Republican Party. My hope is that it would mark a comeback for respectful Republicans everywhere. And now I think we are thrown to the wolves of fake news and hate. The people who are saying Hillary and Bill are rapists and murderers. And as I was going to say, I could only imagine what it feels like to be a legal or illegal immigrant, or a African American, a minority, LGBTQ, or a young woman in today's America. So, anyway, I wrote this thing last night, and it's been shared about a lot of times, 1,000 times, and it's in the comments. Oh no, it's been shared 4,000 times. Almost. It's in the comment section if you feel inspired to share it. And that's my hope, that we can put out Not a positive message, not a negative message, but a message that is urgent and that is necessary. Because it's going to be a rough go. We have harnessed the most powerful country on the planet to the whims of a incredibly powerful, but not necessarily morally moored human being. So the article, I'll read it if folks like, is there's one good thing about a President Trump. And I don't want to shove this down people's throats. I'd only like to read it if you want it. So let me know. So I'll read it. Just looking at the comments. There is one good thing about a President Trump. So I wrote this at the moment, basically, it became clear that Hillary was going to lose in a huge upset. And as a Buddhist, as someone trying to do good in the world, I take this incredibly personally. Our life's mission and path needs to be of benefit. And how do you do that when you're suddenly under the shadow of, as the author of Harry Potter put it, someone worse than Voldemort? And that's not hyperbole. This is the real world. Voldemort was in a book, in a novel. So here's what I wrote. And it starts off pretty frank and perhaps negative to some of you, and it ends with some sense of purpose and hope. So I hope you stick around for the end. But it sums up the challenge we're facing. And any good football coach or any good boss, any good president would be frank about the problems that we're actually facing. I wrote this last night. Tonight, we lost 4 years of fighting climate change, and we're already out of time. Trump has promised to build a wall that would cost billions, that experts and local ranchers alike say isn't possible and won't work anyways. He promised to undo the agreement with Iran to cease their nuclear program. He's promised to tear apart Obamacare and with it end coverage for 20 million folks. Not to mention, we could fix it and extend the coverage and make it more affordable for many more millions. He'll seek revenge against everyone who's ever slighted him. In an era of fake news versus real facts, he's promised to loosen laws protecting journalists from lawsuits by powerful moneyed interests like his donor Peter Thiel, an expert in that arena. Trump and his supporters are no fan of equal rights. Enjoy that less than below 5% unemployment because now it's back to trickle-down economics. His penchant for wars on Twitter will now extend to his role as commander-in-chief. He could make Bush's Iraq war with death and economic devastation and terrorism in its wake look like nothing. I'm a writer and I like paragraph breaks, but I'm just getting going through his basic to-do list. All that was in one paragraph. Tonight we voted to bend the arc of history backward. If we were a little nation, it would be our loss. But this is the world's loss. Fascists and dictators everywhere are tonight heartened. I remember last night, what's her name? Marie Le Pen of France tweeted congratulations to Trump. We could have had Hillary. We just had Michelle as First Lady. Instead, we'll have Donald and Melania, who modeled nude illegally in the U.S. and plagiarized her speech from our beloved do-goodering, fun First Lady. It's a step back for women in the realm of public service. Ironic doesn't cover it. The only silver lining in the wake of any great tragedy. Okay, here it is. I hope this connects. In the only silver lining. In the wake of any great tragedy, it is impossible, as it would have been, to take a liberal platform and competent leadership for granted. So many of my friends here in Boulder voted third party. Respect. So many of my friends in Boulder, a liberal town, voted a protest vote. So many of my friends were ready to complain, not in a constructive way, about Hillary as they did with Obama for the next 4 years. The blowback would have been tremendous if Hillary had won, and I wish she had. But the only silver lining in the wake of any great tragedy is impossible, as it would have been, to take a liberal platform and competent leadership for granted. It is now on you and me to do more than we wanted to do. I'm thinking about canceling my Netflix subscription. We got to get out there and really, we got to work harder than we wanted to. So cry, dream nightmarish dreams, meditate, breathe deep. You can join me in breathing deeply. Then get up and get out there and work and play to create a kind world. Let's make America better and better again. The only silver lining, millions of decent Americans will wake up tomorrow inspired to do more good than we would have been otherwise. For we are now living in the shadow of a bad man. Thanks, Obama. I'll miss you. You are the president of a lifetime. Instead of running away, we work harder. There's even my mom messaged me about moving to Canada today. Instead of running away, we work harder. Instead of fighting, we peace harder. Instead of fighting hate with hate, the kind of obstructionism we've seen from Republicans for the last 8 years, the kind of fear-mongering and race-baiting, we love harder. Instead of running away, we work harder. Instead of fighting, we peace harder. Instead of fighting hate with hate, we love harder. So if you're just tuning in, please let us know where you're from and maybe share a little bit of just how you feel or what this has inspired you, whether Republican or Democrat, to do over the next year and month and 4 years. Just say where you're from, how this has inspired you to move forward, and just how you feel. So that blog is in the comments if you want to share it, if you want to read it, if you want to. I hope people share it because honestly, I think if we can face the problems, the challenges we have, climate change, healthcare, economy, they're all hanging in the balance of someone who is, self-repressed, not a big fan of focusing on anything, who is in the control, basically, of alt-right haters. And we're in an environment of fake media, not even particularly real media. While I wait for a couple comments of where you're from and how you're feeling, I'll read through a few of my, I think, better observations on twitter.com/elephantjournal. I covered live the debate last night. I'll just read the most popular ones really quickly. So at the beginning of the night, everyone was expecting Hillary to win. I shared a cute quote. I explained what's going on to my 3-year-old, and after careful consideration, she wants Hillary Clinton to be president of America. That was from Reddit. Some folks say, forget politics. Elephant shouldn't cover politics. I can't. Politics influence wars, equal rights, healthcare, safe streets, climate change. Here's a quote from the Bible. Do not let any unwholesome talk come out of your mouths, but only what is helpful for building others up according to their needs, that it may benefit those who listen. It's a reminder for all of us. Let's remember how to disagree agreeably. Let's listen to one another, not just blab, as I'm doing. And in so doing, we may defeat our enemies by defeating them into our friends. That's basically a quote from Lincoln there. Listen, and in so doing, we may defeat our enemies by turning them into our friends. Just going to read a few more. Last night, as I quoted on Twitter, we're seeing why every vote counts now. It's amazing, if not frustrating. I tweeted, this must be the Comey effect, the director of the FBI, 10 days of suspicion of email, lock her up kind of stuff. I practiced last night a lot of deep breathing. Lamaze, you could say. This is not looking good for the Paris Agreement, our agreeing as a nation to take climate change seriously. As I wrote in the blog, we don't have 4 years to take off. I tweeted this. This is one of my most popular tweets last night. Pretty soon, Canada will also need to build a wall to stop all the Americans from moving there. Little humor, never hurt. If that counts as humor. Markets are collapsing. – The Trump presidency was brought to you by third-party voters. The protest vote, I think Comey and fake news also really contributed with a solid assist. There's nothing wrong with the notion of having a third party. My mom lives in Canada, and there's three parties there, and they often split the liberal vote so that Stephen Harper, for example, who made Bush look moderate, could win year after year. So, even with 3-4 parties, you're going to be dealing with humans, There's no great solution. As Winston Churchill said, democracy is the worst form of government except for every other form of government. All right, so in one moment, I'm going to go through some comments. I'm going to just read through a few more. Tweets from twitter.com/elephantjournal if you want to put that in the comments. So this is how democracy dies, with thunderous applause. That's from Reddit, #Ohio. My summation of what flipped, why pollsters were all proven wrong. Comey, the director of FBI, fake news, where facts really don't matter anymore. Comey, low turnout among women and minorities, protest votes. Comey. So the next 4 years are going to be a lifetime in the cause to improve healthcare, fight climate change, avoid wars, build economy. As Trump took Florida, in the Trump party, there were chants of lock her up. That's what we're dealing with. I've never seen that in a Republican or Democratic election party ever. This is Brexit Redux. One tweet, I want to know what is going on in Clinton's head right now. The shock must be excruciating. An observation from Reddit. So most of America thinks global warming is a Chinese hoax. That was a quote from Trump that he thought climate change was a hoax. Trump was right about the polling. Polling was way off. Dream or nightmare? Nope. This is looking like reality. The Canadian citizenship and immigration site crashed last night. A funny observation, a funny dark humor observation from Reddit. Thank God Colorado passed assisted suicide today. That is definitely dark humor. Reddit quote, is it too late to actually rig this election? Ironically, no one's talking about how the election was rigged, right? Because Trump won, despite all polls being in the opposite way. Can you imagine if all polls moved far further toward Hillary than expected? The cries of rigging would be out of control. Half of union households voted for Trump. That's an amazing observation, folks. They voted for the party that is working to destroy unions. Half of union households voted for the party that is working to destroy unions. That's staggering. A quote from the New York Times from Paul Krugman, I don't think it's self-indulgent to feel quite a lot of despair. A quote from a friend of mine, whoever was in charge of rigging the election against Donald Trump should be fired. A little more dark humor. A quote from Bill McKibben, if Trump wins, which he did obviously, it savages the planet's chances of dealing with climate change. In the very long run, the biggest result of a hideous night. Not a very long run, in the short run. We're already feeling the effects in Miami, in the Rockies, where we've lost millions of trees. And now, remember, thanks to the obstructionism, first time going against the Constitution in history, Obama wasn't able to appoint a Supreme Court justice. We're now looking at the next 30 years of American history being altered. So that puts in danger women's rights to abortion, to choice. New York Times observed this probably rewrites the rules on how to run a campaign for president. Trump ran a brilliant campaign. A friend of mine said, this too shall pass. I say no, not as far as healthcare, climate change are concerned, let alone wars, equal rights in the economy. That's why I think my article hopefully is so helpful or important for people. Please share it, because we have to face, there's such a tendency among liberals to be like, it's all good, man, No, you have to look at reality straight up, and then you can begin to deal with it. I read a quote that made me crack up last night, got a smile out of me. I'm literally going to swim to school tomorrow in a river of liberal tears. We have hats for sale that may be newly popular. I don't know if you can read that. Make Obama president again. That's on our market at elephantjournal.com/hats. That's the only plug you'll be getting today. Maybe it could be in honor of Michelle. Can Michelle come back in 2020, please? That was one of my most popular tweets last night. Bernie did warn us about this 6 months ago, saying he would do better against Trump. The markets were tanking last night. Great quote from John Arvosos. He said, "Congrats, millennials. You just helped destroy every issue you claim to care about. Not so special anymore, are you, snowflake?" The quote is referring to, according to the national exit polls, 9% of voters ages 18 to 29 went for third parties, as did 8% of voters ages 30 to 44. We helped swing the election. Hide your wife, hide your kids. We are headed for a massive recession. Another quote, "Don't blame me, I voted for Clinton." That's kind of a traditional kind of quote in this situation. I think I'll wrap up reading the tweets from last night and then just discuss your comments if you have any. So anything constructive or thoughtful or genuine, just about how you feel, I will talk. And I asked the question last night, is Obamacare over? 20 million people covered in the balance. Is the Iran deal over? Will they go back to going for nuclear weapons? I hope that everyone enjoyed the less than 5% unemployment rate while it lasted. It's back to trumped up trickle-down economics, which economists are not a big fan of. You know, when they're voting a billionaire to take down the elites who support healthcare for all, fake news is at work. It's 2000 all over again. The controversy about Donna Brazil. Last night I got to listen to Corey Lewandowski, who's Trump's first campaign manager, who is literally still on the payroll. Last night, Harambe, the gorilla who got shot, got over 15,000 votes. The internet has ruined America. That's a quote from Reddit. Yeah, well, with fear in the air, we just got to breathe deep. Read that article. We have to face the facts. We can't ignore the facts. We have to face the facts. Breathe deep, face the facts. Find community, face the facts, and then go forward. I texted last night, Idiocracy, which is a kind of funny movie, is apparently a documentary, not a funny movie. I recommend everyone watch that. If you need a movie to watch tonight, it's funny, but it's also apropos. So Trump, is he going to walk back building his wall, since it's more or less impossible? He's going to control healthcare, the economy, the military, Muslim bashing, and journalism suing. So hot right now. Good side of Trump victory, progressive groundswell. That's constructive of me. Reading a couple last quotes. This is from Van Jones. "An enemy power deliberately interfered in our election in a one-sided way and got away with it." A quote, we have a blog up about it that I think is a responsible coverage of the craziness that is so many firsts. Have we ever seen a first lady nude before? Plagiarism, worked illegally here, so ironic, painfully ironic. That's a blog called Melania Trump's nude model photos. She has nothing to be ashamed of. That's on Elephant. Put that in the links if you like. Hillary? No, Donald. Then, with Melania following Michelle, whose speech she infamously plagiarized, tonight is a blow to women in public service. I hope tonight will inspire millions to, last night will inspire millions to public service. The world is going to need us right now. Elizabeth Warren in 2020, anyone? Marine Le Pen congratulating Trump. We failed to overlook Hillary's self-proclaimed lack of outgoing charisma, and we failed to vote for the most progressive platform in history. On the other side, we overlooked a bad man's deeds because we wanted to support his platform and Supreme Court picks. Instead of running away, we work harder. Instead of fighting, we peace harder. Instead of fighting hate with hate, we love harder. We now see how every vote matters. Razor-thin margins in various states. Just about all went red. The Senate, obviously, the House. So does this mean we should all avoid paying taxes now, President Trump, and hide our returns? It's a fair point. Here's two thoughts this morning, and then I'll talk about your comments. One, America is great, as in big and powerful, for better or worse. U.S. under Trump, and worse under his team of alt-right haters, will need some love to stay and fight back with love. So a lot of people are talking about moving away. America is great for better or for worse. You can't get away from America anywhere in the world. U.S. under Trump, and worse, his team of alt-right haters, will need some love to stay and fight back with love. It's been said before, but this rubs raw. The man who stoked racial fears about Obama's origins will replace Obama. So that ends my read of the tweets, which was probably somewhat boring for folks, but I did want to sum up kind of what happened on video. So I'll now go through some comments. Any hateful comments we will block, but any critical comments are more than welcome. Josette, I'm cranky and sleep deprived and determined to minimize the damage as much as one civilian can. Great attitude, big love. So if you're just tuning in, say where you're from, give a little love or a like or a heart. That'll help this video, which is hopefully about facing the facts with open eyes and an open heart. And then how do we approach this with love, with strength? Please give it a love or a heart. That'll help this video get out to thousands upon thousands upon thousands upon thousands of people. That's how the algorithm on Facebook works. Give it a love, a like, or a comment. Say where you're from. Megan also had a chicken coop dream. I was talking about how last night I had a dream that we basically had left a fox in our chicken coop, and the next 4 years that fox is going to have a party. Reggie didn't sleep at all. Christine is heartbroken in New Hampshire. Yeah, great comment from Heather. There's space for everything we're feeling. Amber, I'm heartbroken. I thought our country was better than this. This isn't just about right versus left. This is about climate change. This is about, our economy has steadily grown, and that's now in danger. This is about equal rights for all, which is already in pretty rough shape in America. Yeah, Josette, great comment. Love is getting off your chair and doing something, but it's also first feeling the feelings, connecting with community, and then together, let this inspire millions to public service. Please give this a like or a love or share. Let's get the numbers of people watching this up to 1,000. Let's get this video out there. Do you know how much hate is out there in mainstream media, in fake news? Do you know how many people want to lock her up, calling her a murderer and a rapist? Do you know Russia and WikiLeaks? Half the world is enjoying the hate. They're feeding off of it. Let's give a little love out there. As Martin Luther King said, only love can conquer hate. Hate has never conquered hate. Hate is not a solution. So if you're hating on Trump, if you're hating on Republicans, if you're hating on your neighbors, stop it and feel the feelings. You're probably going to cry a little bit. And then face the facts. Climate change, education. I haven't even heard education discussed. A stable, growing economy, good for all Americans. We've literally put half of union households voted for the party that wants to destroy union power. How is this going to turn out, folks? So we need to get out there with love. For years I could have run for city council here in Boulder, and I haven't. Because why? Because I'm already working like 10 hours a day, 7 days a week, literally. I just wanted to have shreds of a life. A little bit of me, a little bit of downtime to rest or Netflix or have a relationship once in a while that doesn't get crushed by my work. And now, after last night, I'm inspired. Well, maybe it's time to cut that Netflix subscription and get out there and actually be a little bit more useful. And as Eleanor Roosevelt said, the greatest joy is to be useful, is to be of service. Please share that article I read if you find it at all inspiring. A lot of people are saying tears and crying, breaking heart, talking to my 3 daughters. Carell, love to you and your daughters. I do feel your pain and I feel my pain. We need more compassion in the world. It's that simple, right? Already in Boulder, Colorado, which is a very liberal town where I live, there's a growing, it's getting yuppified more and more, and there's a growing sort of libertarian scene that hates the government, even though we've created one of the happiest towns in the U.S. with great bike lanes and great, we work with the homeless really well, or not well enough, but pretty darn well. Already there's a movement in Boulder to kind of get rid of all that and to take what's great here and just make it a little yuppie paradise. It's happening all over the U.S. This is not about Trump. I mean, it's such a sad joke. Is seen as an outsider, is seen as the people's candidate. If you talk to anyone he's ever done business with, including many middle-class white males, he doesn't treat people right. I feel like we need a collective cry. Well, we're here to do that, Terry. Sally, don't cry, Waylon. Well, too late. Yeah, if you want to see me cry, just watch the beginning of the video. Catherine, you bet. Yeah, I came on because of one comment on Instagram. I honestly, we do these videos every day, but I don't have much to offer other than I know politics pretty well. I follow pretty well. And I want to work harder to be of benefit to the world. We're going to need it. And just sad, Not because my team lost. I mean, I think the ironic thing here is when Obama came into office, the Republican Party did nothing but obstruct. And liberals aren't going to do the same thing. We're here to play ball. We're here to have a democracy and to compromise and to try and get everyone together. And I really hope that Trump and his alt-right haters who want to lock her up and all that kind of thing feel the same way, but I don't believe them. Yeah, Jen, amen. May the Almighty bless all of us. Hopefully we can all come together. Jill, that's a deal. Diana, the universe has its way of balancing itself out, and you know this, Waylon. Love, this is our way of being slingshot into something different, better. Out of chaos comes clarity. It's not us, it's us, up to us now to lead that change. Blessing to you, and you can resonate on a higher frequency if you so choose. I agree with half of that, but this isn't about higher frequencies or fluffy, hippy-dippy stuff. This is, as you said, we're going to have to lead that change. We are going to have to be the change, which is not a Gandhi quote, by the way. We have a blog on that, but whatever. Get this hat, everyone. Let's wear this around. And maybe Michelle will come rescue us, or Elizabeth Warren, or someone in 2020. Isn't that a nice thought? I don't know if you can see it. Reggie, thank you for helping me to know it's okay to mourn. I needed that. You bet. Cordy, it's totally okay to be afraid. You should be afraid. That's pretty rational. Tiffany, we should have nominated a better candidate. I think that's true. I think Hillary was highly competent and had a great platform and just was not charming. And America loves the charming. We love to vote for a candidate who we can have a beer with, and everyone wants to hang out with the Donald. At least everyone who's a white male. Lester, a heavy heart, for we are entering a dark time. Robin, what you wrote needs to be read aloud by you. Please, please, folks, if you do one thing today, read that article. You don't have to like it or agree with it. Just give it a chance. Read it to the end, because the end is the hopeful part. And if you feel like it's connecting in a genuine way, share it. I really hope that Elephant over the next 4 years can serve to be a reference point for sanity, for humor, for love, and for honesty, not for kind of wishful thinking, magical thinking, positivity BS, but for reality and what we can do from our open hearts to be of benefit to this world and to one another. A lot of people read it. Thank you. A lot of people saying, how do I explain this to my boys or girls? My kid's iPod blew up this AM with kids 4 through 6th grade in disbelief of what the grown-ups did. Their bubble burst. I hope he tones down and works hard. Nothing more frightful than ignorance in action. Yeah, so we got to face the facts and then get to action. Here's a long comment from Electrolex. Some things I've heard from my circle in the last 24 hours that broke my heart, but also have me wondering, how can we make today better than yesterday? Good morning. Do you have your bag ready? Your travel bag, friend in Ireland. Orange is the new black and now the color of racism. I am part of the minority who voted for her, Army vet. Well, I hope you get to see a woman president. I'm sure we will. From a parent, I can't believe hate won, pen pal in Brazil. Wow, this is quite a comment. We use your country to show what not to do, a professor in Asia. That's great. I hope we do inspire people. If you voted for Trump and have a vagina, then you deserve what's coming, neighbor. I don't know about that attitude, but yeah, I get it. America just showed me that my rights don't matter as a gay individual. High school friend. I wonder how much of this was sexism, father. I left one tyrant behind and came to another, a Muslim friend. Can you imagine being Muslim today? A Muslim American? Or a Mexican American? I don't trust anyone or anything anymore. Collective mess. Akam Mahid, let everyone hear this, or Majid, I don't know how to say your name. Rule number 2, somehow things always tend to get better. This is a guy on Facebook Live who tunes in with me frequently, and he's tuning in from Iraq. So if he can say that somehow things always tend to get better, Tiffany, wow, so much negativity. I don't know that that's true. I think being frank about someone who doesn't care about our planet or about women or minorities or religious minorities or even really get basic fundamental democratic ideals, I don't think looking at the facts is negative. So if you take anything away from this video, looking at facts is not negative. Fake news is part of what got us here. Looking at the facts is not negative. If you can't look at the facts, you're a coward. So look at the facts, whether they agree with your opinion or disagree, and that applies to me. I will be happier than anyone in America if Trump decides to become a president for all Americans. So if the facts show me that, I will be a huge fan of Trump. Look at the facts, feel your feelings. Don't suppress or ignore. That is positivity. That is the stiff upper lip British thing. Look at the facts, feel the feelings, connect with the community, and then go forward and be of service. And there is the only chance we have collectively as a country, as a people. And we just, as Akam said, we have to make things better. And that guy is commenting from Iraq, which we tore apart. So if he can say that respectfully, Tiffany, go to hell. Respectfully. Hell is nice and hot, kind of like global warming. Ariel, it is what it is. At the end of the day, our life must go on. Love harder, work harder. Well said. You seem very mature. Tiffany is on a roll. Obama caused this. I mean, what did Obama do? He stabilized the economy with the greatest recession since the Great Depression, gained 15 million jobs, reduced the unemployment rate below 5%, gave all Americans respect, including Republicans, was obstructed from day one, was fought by Donald Trump, was the leader of the birther campaign, who wouldn't even acknowledge that he was an American. He has been good environmentally. He has been good in so many ways. And it's not even about Obama. It's about us. We didn't support him. We just sat back and let him fix everything. And of course, he couldn't alone. So let's not sit back. Nina, watching from Germany. We will do this together. I can feel you. From Kim, Max, so Mom, who won the election? Me, deep breath, Donald Trump. Max, just a look of shocked confusion. Me, I know adults tell the kids not to be bullies, and then the majority of them elect a bully as a leader. It is confusing, I know. Max, yes, what will happen? Me, Mom, we will need to love one another that much more. Look for the positive in situations. Stand up for and beside those that are bullied by others, including the environment. Max, okay, I can do that. I will be one of the helpers. I mean, if that's true, please put that up as an article on elephantjournal.com/submit. So that's something I could ask all of you. elephantjournal.com/submit. You can send your articles in. If you're a Trump supporter, if you're a Republican, if you're a liberal, please, Kim Cummings, please send that in as an article and we'll share that. I mean, right now, Elephant is independent media that does care about facts. How rare is that? Super rare. And so you can support Elephant by reading. You can support Elephant by getting our online magazine, which is curated. You can support us by being there for us and us being there for you the next 4 years, if not 8 years. So we're going to be there the next 4 years. Because Jon Stewart ain't around. We're here. We're a little less funny than Stewart. Although I can be pretty funny in public. Maybe we have to start doing events again. Carolyn, I'm going to work at boosting our educational system because our lack of funding raised adults who cannot critically think, seek out facts, and understand credible news sources. Carolyn, please write a whole article about that. Folks, what are you going to do to be of service over the next 4 years? Let's really galvanize some good feeling right here, and then I'll wrap it up with a moment of prayer or meditation. Feel heartbroken, wise words, please share that article I put. Should be at the top. Lisa, Pennsylvania, I don't even know how I feel yet, but I do know my profile picture isn't changing anytime soon. Love. Charity, Ohio here. As a disabled person, I'm terrified. Who will take care of my child when I lose my insurance and cannot afford my heart medication? I'm so scared for her future. That is fear. And to the people who say, just feel positivity and ignore what's going on, don't be negative, listen to what Charity just said. Ohio here, as a disabled person, I'm terrified. Because in Obamacare, you can no longer keep people off insurance because of a pre-existing condition. Charity says, as a disabled person, I'm terrified. Who will take care of my child when I lose my insurance and cannot afford my heart medication? I'm so scared for her future. Well, Charity, we're here with you and we're here for you. So stay in touch and please, if you want, copy and paste that and send it in as an article and expand on it. And we'll share that. And I think millions of people like me will have the reaction that I'm having, which is to care. And I don't mind crying because it's empathy. And empathy is not weak. Empathy is the strongest emotion in the world. It's the only way this world can continue to function, because it's a small world. And we care about you, Charity, and we care about your daughter. And we're scared for her future, too. So please don't ignore the facts, people. I need some scotch and singing right now. Please, Ev, send an article in. This has inspired me to get writing about the strength of women and what needs to happen. God, I would love to have a female president right now. Nicole, great comment. I'm in Austin. I feel pretty devastated, but realize we have to work with where we are now. We can't run away from what has happened. And Jacob, all great lessons that can be found in the Buddhist and Bible philosophy. Love from the UK. Mickey came back from work, I think, after dropping my son off at school, and cried and cried. And this isn't just Donald, you know. This is the Senate, local races. I mean, this is going to be Bush, W. Bush times 100, you know. Bush had respect for democracy, at least, even if his views were very, very different from mine. Mariana, at least some respect for democracy. I mean, that was a pretty rough time. Mariana, Colombia, we have to be braver than ever to stand up against bigotry and hate, to stand up for those who are in a weaker position than ours. Well said. JS, yeah, cutting off my cable, I feel like I contributed to this mess. I think one of the good things we can all do over the next 4 years is to read real news, find good journalism. New York Times is fantastic. Find good journalism. It's a dying species, and support it and subscribe to it. Support it with your $1 a month or whatever it costs. You can subscribe to Elephant if you're so inspired. elephantjournal.com/read, and we will never let you down. I will work night and day, as will my 22 staff, and growing, to not to be partisan, but to be honest and truthful and empathetic. And again, I would gladly vote for any Republican if, a moderate, good, like a Teddy Roosevelt or a Lincoln or a Eisenhower came forward. From Connecticut, from Monica. Appreciate your words when all hope seems lost. Having to explain to 2 boys this morning why hate was extremely difficult this morning. Please send that in as an article. elephantjournal.com/submit. Jacqueline, amen. Copenhagen, Denmark, scared for the future, for the world and my kids' future. This is not just America, it's the world that is affected. Yeah, we're not just a little banana republic. Kat, did you put my blog in with the quote? I hope you did. Maybe I haven't seen it, or maybe I missed it. Melissa, I am an active duty female, and I'm worried about my brothers and sisters in arms. Broken heart. From Sabrina in Florida. My 7-year-old daughter is super sad, but thank you for the positivity. You bet. Hopefully it's just positiveness. Positivity is often like ignore the negative and cling to the positive. I think the true positivity is to look at reality, feel your heart and empathy, and then serve. Whitney, I woke up crying. I have cancer and I can't deal with this, of all things. Bridget, thank you for talking about politics, what we have to deal with in real life day to day. Tasha, Chicago, and I live by the Obama's house. I volunteered to sit on a board at a healthcare clinic. I'm going to go out and volunteer again in the community more now than ever. I'm African American and equal rights are important today more than ever. Love from Chicago. Love to you, Tasha. Please send that in as an article if so inspired. Just expand upon that. What can we do in service right now for the world? Anja, thank you, Waylon. I watch in Germany, and even my kids are scared. I'm afraid of TTIP being signed with the President Trump. I feel afraid about NATO, and I said to my husband today that it's time to engage in politics personally to make a difference. Bless you. Bless you. Meryl, the Netherlands. This has reinforced my urge to live my most best, greatest love, live kindness. A lot of people. D Lane, Ketawaro. Do I need to buy a red hat and wear it now to be safe? Well, you could buy this red hat if you want. But no, I mean, we can't act out of fear, right? We have to be Americans, and we have to act out of wanting to further our ideals for democracy. Nicole, politics isn't a fun topic for many of us, but as we have learned, this is an important topic to focus on. It deals with every area of our lives. Amen. J.S. Red Davis. Equal rights must be addressed and worked toward until we all have them and keep them. If I'm going over Obama's talk, I don't want to, so can people let me know if that's happening? Kathy, I became complacent. During Obama years, he seemed to have it under control. I did way conspired to get more involved than ever before. Be the change. I think that's the takeaway, right? Oh no, you didn't add the quote in? This is what the whole video has been about, Kat. You're kidding me. All right, folks. Well, if you're still here, oh, I can't believe that. Well, folks, if you want to do me a big favor, go to facebook.com/elephantjournal or Elephant Journal on Facebook. And the very top post is my article that I read here. Please like it or share it. It's facing the facts. And we need to do that right now. So go to Elephant Journal. I just put it there. Sorry, that's why I'm talking slowly, because I'm typing. Okay, so I guess Kat did put it in, but maybe late. I'm confused. Alrighty. Anita, I now know why my mother was sobbing when I came home from the second grade when President Kennedy was killed. Yeah. Bridget, careful about your thoughts. Thoughts have a lot of power. Yeah, no, you should be open with your thoughts, not sort of control or suppress them. The way we work with thoughts in meditation is to acknowledge them in Buddhist meditation, acknowledge them, and then return to the breath. We don't try to avoid them. Leah, Florida here, terrified as a woman and Obamacare recipient, saddened to learn that fear reigns supreme here in the land of the free. Yeah, Florida. Whew. Florida was a heartbreaker. J.S. Red, I'm not going anywhere. I will stay and work toward change. Nina, it's not DARF energy, or dark energy as you probably mean, to face the facts. Read that article, and if you read to the end, you'll see it's incredibly hopeful and positive. So, Heather, there is power in proximity. Let this be our call to show up first. The fall, then the rising. I'm a mother raising 2 daughters. I have no choice but to be the love and live past my fear. Join hands with me. Much love, Heather in Loveland, Colorado. It's an appropriate place to be from with that message. Thank you. Please send in an article if so inspired. All right, I'm going to wrap up with a moment of meditation. There's so many beautiful comments, folks. If nothing else, I hope you feel the love on this page and this community, your community, what you've created today. Wow, there's so many comments. Oh my God. Well, we could stay here all day and go through the comments. Yeah, Bridget, look for that article. Can we put that article in again? She's missing it. Please read that. Oh, it's pinned. Great, thank you. Thank you, Amanda shared the article already. Kristen sees it pinned. Great. Please just make sure it's in the comments. We are breathing, but guys, don't ignore what just happened. We didn't have, as I say in that article, we didn't have 4 years to take off from climate change, let alone healthcare. The way you join or subscribe to Elephant Journal is elephantjournal.com/read. Catherine, thank you for asking. It's $1 a month, basically, and you pay for all of our editors and our best writers to do consistent good work for you. Mariah, I'm choosing love and civic duty. Progression will happen. I like it. So many great comments. Please, guys, if any of you send in thoughtful comments, that are kind of in some depth, please copy paste them right now, write them up a little bit, send them into elephantjournal.com/submit. I hope that link is in the comments. And we'll share and feature your article, because the world needs some genuineness, some heart, and some resolve about what to do right now. So for those of you here, would you like to meditate? I grew up in the Buddhist tradition, meditation or prayer. You can do either with me. You basically just kind of find your breath, you take a deep posture, and then you can kind of come back from any neurotic thoughts that are going on. Let me know. The hat is available if you like it. I'm just seeing a comment at elephantjournal.com/hats. And every hat includes a donation to support the wild horses of the West, who are kind of having a rough time right now. So rescuing a wild Mustang. All right. So if you'd like to join me in meditation, this will just be 2 minutes. Take a good posture. Please, everyone, do this if you're still going to watch. If you're watching, let's do this. And it's not it is Buddhist, but it's not particularly religious. You can do it whatever your faith or non-faith. Take a good posture. You can kind of move your sit bones. If you're feeling grief or stress or even anger or anything, excitement, whatever you're feeling today, you can bring it into the present moment. So let's do that. Take a good posture. Eyes are open. Connect your head with the heavens. That's the realm of vision and inspiration and mission. Connect your sit bones with the ground. Take a deep breath. Find your breath in and out. We need this today more than ever. The present moment is where any brilliance, any solutions can begin to occur. Without the present moment, we got nothing. If we're spinning off in our minds and our anger and our hate and our love and not our love, our fear, then we can't connect with our love or your love. So breathe in and out. It's a good habit. Just follow your breath in and out. Let's put your hands together and bow with mutual respect to everyone in the world. Trump supporters, Hillary supporters, Bernie supporters, Gary supporters, Jill supporters, people live in other countries, elephant readers, your animal friends. Bow to the world. This is for the world. Breathe in and out. If you find yourself thinking, say about a Trump presidency or lunch, good or bad, happy or sad, whatever the thought is, just notice it by labeling it thinking. I'm thinking. I'm not present. I'm thinking. And return your attention to the breath. Practice that every day. We can put a link, Kat, in the comments about how to meditate. Trungpa Rinpoche's Daten letter, how to meditate, or one of my meditation instructions. And let's all conclude now with a bow to one another everywhere in the world, everywhere in the U.S., with let's take a vow to face the facts, to be honest with ourselves and with our world and our community, not to avoid them or suppress them, to feel our feelings, which right now could be grief for many people, or fear, or anxiety, or if you're a Trump fan, joy, and then for all of us, all Americans everywhere around the world, what is your service going to be over the next 4 years? Let's take a renewed vow to be more useful, to be more there for the world. As they say in Buddhism, if you want to be happy, think first of others. If you want to be unhappy, think only of yourself. So this vow of service that you're thinking, like when you make a wish on a birthday cake, think to yourself, my vow of service is to blankety blank 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 over the next 4 years, and that is your path to genuine joy in this world, in this life. So let's think about that. My path to genuine service over the next 4 years is and then let's end with a bow to one another. Thank you so much. If you'd like to support Elephant and be supported by Elephant over the next 4 years, get our online magazine, elephantjournal.com/read. I hope that's it. Give it a like or a love or a share, and let's help this video get out there and not just be kind of suppressed by the Facebook algorithm. So if you've appreciated this, give it a like, a love, or a share, and help it get outside of the algorithm. If you want to keep Elephant in your life and keep Elephant alive, right now Facebook is very difficult for Elephant. Please get our newsletter, our online magazine, elephantjournal.com/read. We put a lot of love and curation into it. It's our best stuff, not just the viral stuff that gets through Facebook. Thank you, everyone, and I hope this gave you a moment of community, of genuine connection, of feeling your own heart, and of resolve for how we can be of service over the next 4 years. It's amazing seeing all the hearts going across the screen right now. So thank you. And as a reward, I'm going to show you Redford. And then I'll hang up. And when I hang up, you can get the screen notification. You can click the screen to get notifications of future videos. Hey, ready? Good boy. Redford is pretty agnostic when it comes to politics. All right, folks. Thank you so much. And we'll see you tomorrow. We do this 5 days a week on facebook.com/elephantjournal or youtube.com/elephantjournal. And I'll leave you with this little hat. You can get it if you like it at elephantjournal.com/hats. And every hat plants a tree or benefits a Mustang horse, rescuing a Mustang. Can't get more American than that. This hat could refer to Barack or perhaps to Michelle in 2020, or more likely Elizabeth Warren, or, well, that would be nice. Love to all of you and each of you and your children. It's hard to hang up with all these hearts. So maybe I'll sing a song. Let it blow, let it blow. Let the cold wind blow. Let it blow from east to west. Shambhala sun is the best. Standing tall and looking good. A lot to be in Hollywood. Standing tall and looking good. Things are basically good. And that is a good thought to end on. Thank you, folks. Have a wonderful day. Please meditate a few minutes a day in the morning and the evening. Please be of service to your neighborhood or city or town or country. And sing a sad, fun song in the shower today. God, it's impossible to hang up with all these hearts. Stop it.